Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO44 coming at you with another video. All right, so we got the LA Lakers and the Sacramento Kings in an afternoon game, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 o'clock Eastern in Sacramento, the Golden One Center. And of course, we played our last game against Sacramento, won that 113-100, where we really controlled the glass very well, and I think that contributed a lot to how we had success out there. We also had 18 stocks as a team, that's blocks and steals combined. So that really helped us as well. So our defense has improved dramatically over the last 4 games. In fact, we're the #1 defensive team in the NBA over the last 4 games, which is crazy as it gets. But at the same time, it kind of speaks to what we learned about our team last year, which is we can choose one or the other. Either you're going to be a defensive team or an offensive team based on the one-way ability of our players. And so if you want to lean into your defensive talent, you can be one of the better defensive team, but you're going to punt the offensive end, and vice versa as well if you do it the other way. So that's what we've learned, that's what we know, and that's what it's showing us once again. We've inserted Max Christie into the starting lineup, and it's given him a point of attack defender that can really help us with guys like De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk. And we're seeing him coupled with more of our defensive talent being featured. Anthony Davis just having a monster game on the boards, and as well with stocks. And it put us in the strongest position to really showcase our defense very well. You got Gabe Vincent hitting shots now. He had 3 out of 4 through from behind the arc, coming back to his hometown, really shining in the last one. Hopefully that continues tonight. And you just saw a much better basketball team than we are used to seeing represented in purple and gold throughout the course of these last month and a half or so. So we're coming off 2 very good wins, man. We beat the Memphis Grizzlies, and now we've beaten the Sacramento Kings, and of course we didn't have to leave town because we got the Kings again. So tonight the injury report looks a little different. I think Trey Lyles for the Sacramento Kings, a game time decision. I do not recall him having any minutes in the last one. I think he missed it. Keegan Murray somehow tweaked his ankle, I guess, in the last game, or it might have been a lingering issue, but he is a game time decision, though he did play in the last game, got 10 points there. And as for the Lakers, our big dogs, Anthony Davis and LeBron James, are questionable for this game. Bron, management on the foot, and AD some type of left elbow, although I saw him tweak his ankle in the last game, so I don't really know what's going on. And Rui Hachimura is a game time decision with a knee, which is really interesting because he also played in the last game, had I think 10 points, I think, or something like that, 9 points, somewhere like that. So hopefully those guys all go. I have an idea that this team is kind of like giving the finger to the schedule makers in a way with some of the stuff that they've been doing. This is kind of a theme that I've been sensing over the last several years, where particularly Bron, if he don't like something on the schedule, he ain't showing up. And this 2 days in Sacramento, 3 days in Sacramento, 2 games in a row thing, I don't think Bron really appreciates that too much. Just like I didn't think he appreciated that one time we had to fly out to Minnesota. He didn't play that game. I don't think he appreciated several things just over the years that we've pointed out, like, yo, is he unhappy? Is he protested? And this is another one of those where I wonder, is he unhappy? Is he protesting the fact he has to be in Sacramento for 3 days, playing the same team twice? But, this is something that's on the schedule for everybody. And I don't want us to, be so angry at the schedule that we spite our own selves in regards to punting games down the road that we really need to win. Sacramento is definitely a game we need to win. This is an important season series. Obviously, right now, the Sacramento Kings are outside the playoff picture, but there's not a whole lot that separates 6 from 10. So that can change quickly, and you might find yourself matched up against Sacramento in the playoffs. You never know. And if that's the case, you definitely want home court advantage. And just for the psychological aspect of it, our team has lost to Sacramento a lot over the last several years. So for us to have these 2 games against them means a lot, but it would really, really store our psychology, in my opinion, if we can win the season series. So this is an important game. Not to mention that we see them yet again 3 games from now, next Saturday, a week from now, if I'm not mistaken. So it's incumbent upon the Lakers to kind of get it together, man, against the Kings. Try to show up. Try to capture this basketball game in their building. And really get a stranglehold on the season series against the Sacramento Kings, one of our rivals of the modern era, for the first time in several years, man. 2 games straight, AD has beaten Sabonis. That is pretty dang big, given the fact that he had never beaten Sabonis. ever in his career at any point in time. So to have 2 game winning streak on Sabonis is a big deal for Anthony Davis, and he really showed out in this last one with 20, 21 points, 20 rebounds, I think 6 blocks, 3 steals or something like that, 4 steals. It was a really phenomenal Anthony Davis dominant performance. And we really need that again tonight if we're going to beat this team, along with some of the other things that we duplicated that we'll need to duplicate from the last game. So, I think, Austin Reeves' 25 points was a massive standout for us as well. He really showed up, was very efficient, shot 50% from the field. And so we're going to kind of need him to continue on his efficient ways. And, Anthony Davis, not Anthony Davis, excuse me, D'Angelo Russell coming off the bench with 16 points. That was a big deal. And, of course, the 12 points contributed by the threes hit by Gabe Vincent. I believe he had 12 points. So, that type of production is something that we haven't been able to count on. Guys have been very inconsistent in that way. And so if we're going to win this game, we need all hands on deck, and we're going to need more of that production from our bench unit. I'm wondering what's going on with Dalton Connect. He only had 10 minutes in the last game. Is he completely in the doghouse? I don't think we're utilizing him correctly, but I also think he's been in a bit of a slump. So when we try to give him those opportunities, he hadn't really been flourishing in them. But we've seen him have 2 massive games this year, one against Utah, another in the preseason against the Phoenix Suns, and he's always a threat to do that. So I would like for him to remain in our rotation, but he is going to have to slap out of his slump and find ways of contributing in order for him to gain the graces of our coaching staff once again. So, that's kind of what's on my mind. This is just another game, but at the same time, it's an early game, and we know these games tend to throw guys off their rhythm, their routine. I think our team is much more equipped to kind of play 6 o'clock, 7 p.m. games. We don't really do well in the afternoon, and this is a rare scheduled 3 o'clock afternoon game. So it's not something you're going to see again on the schedule. It wasn't something I saw at all last year, if I'm not mistaken. This is just not an hour where basketball games normally start, period. So it's an odd one. It's a very odd one, and I hope that our stars don't protest it because we could really use the victory. Yeah, so that's my attitude on this. I'm very thankful that personally I'll be able to watch the game. Some things shook out in a way that allows for me to do so. I didn't think it would be possible based on what I had going on, but I'll be able to watch the game and likely be doing my review either on the way out the door, or we'll be rushing out immediately after completing my reaction to this basketball game. So that's kind of how this thing structured out for me tonight, and I'm very happy about that. So yeah, man, we getting ready for Sacramento tonight. The Lakers are going to be wearing whites, of course, as we always do on the weekends, and Sacramento will be wearing their purple jerseys that say Sacramento on it. And if I know anything about that, that means we'll see the exact same floor we seen in the last game. They won't switch up the floor at all. No cities, no alternate, nothing. They're just going to throw the same floor out there again. So it's definitely going to feel like you're in the same building again, and I guess that's what they decided they wanted to do. I would have been pleased if they switched up the color scheme a little bit. Either went with the black floor that has the King logo on it, that lion logo, or the red and blue old Sacramento Kings throwback city stuff that they've been doing, that I've only seen maybe twice, but it gives you the guys as if you're playing an entirely different team. So that's what I would have preferred to see, but they went with purple twice in a row. So it'll feel like you're watching the same game, man. That's pretty much what it is, with your team wearing white instead of yellow. That's it. So yeah, man, I don't particularly like the way the schedule has worked out either, where you see the same team 3 times in like 7 days. It works in the playoffs, and it might be good for structuring how to defeat a team and game planning for them, for the coaches, but I don't love it. Not to mention that it's a little weird for us because we are playing these games in Sacramento, 3 days in Sacramento. We come back to LA for a Detroit game next, and I believe that will be on Monday. And then at Christmas Day, we go back up to Golden State. And if anybody knows the distance between the Sacramento and San Francisco, you understand it's probably like at the most an hour down the freeway, depending on traffic. So it's not that far, and it doesn't make any sense that we come back to LA for a game just to go right back to where we've been. It would have been so much easier if they just scrapped that Detroit game and just had us stay in the Bay Area for the Christmas game. We could make it so that we come back home after that. But or made it so that the Christmas game was in LA. That also could have been something the NBA could have done to make things better for us. But they chose to have LeBron on the road for Christmas. So it is what it is, man. We're spending a lot of time in the Bay Area for Christmas, and this is that. So I hope our team was able to get some good rest. The non-travel road process can be a good thing, I guess, even though they had to spend 3 days in Sacramento. I'm sure they made the most of it. But now it's time to get business going. About 3 hours from now or 4 hours from now, and that 3 o'clock game will be something that we hope to get the victory in. Man, we really need to string together some wins. Sacramento's on a 2-game losing streak. I believe they're 13-15 right now, their record. So us getting this win tonight will really help us propel ourselves some space between us and them. We're right now at the 7th spot, but like I said, it's not a whole lot of games separating like 5 from 10 or 5 from 11. It's like maybe a half a game or something. So you'll see a lot of fluctuation there all the way through the end of the season, in my opinion. So it's incumbent upon us to win these Western Conference games. It's incumbent upon us to win games against sub 500 teams. And even though Sacramento is a better team than their record shows, the record shows they're sub 500. We need to be beating them. That's what it really comes down to. We need to be beating them. And, I expect a bigger game from DeMar DeRozan, specifically just zeroing in on one player. He really did have only 10 points in the last one. I don't expect for that to continue. He's going to want to make his presence felt tonight. Keegan Murray had like 10 points again. If he's available with the ankle, I'm pretty sure he's going to try to make a bigger impression on this game. And as we talked about at the end of the game, some things that Sacramento had been doing in the wins that they had prior to seeing the Denver Nuggets that I don't think they've turned to since. Kevin Huerter was having a really big week. He didn't have much going on in the last game against us. I think he had like 10 points as well. I think that's how that went. And then Doug McDermott against the Utah Jazz, both Doug McDermott and Kevin Huerter had 6 3-point shots made, 12 between the two of them off the bench. And tonight really featured them very much 4 games later. It's, I think, a little head scratching to me. So I expect for Mike Brown to kind of audible into utilizing some pieces that he didn't use very much in the last one. So we got to be aware of that perimeter defender they got down there. I wish his name would come to mind, dude with the dreads. He's going to create problems for guys like Austin Reeves. They're going to try to zero in on Austin a bit more, try to make him more inefficient tonight, so we need to be aware of that. Keon Ellis is who I'm thinking about. And, of course, De'Aaron Fox, man, there's a lot being said about De'Aaron Fox not necessarily being all that happy with Sacramento, not wanting to sign his extension. I heard some rumors about San Antonio. Keep monitoring him, so keep an eye on De'Aaron Fox. I don't know how much longer he's going to be in Sacramento. We may be seeing some of the last games of him in Sac right now. So that's going to be very interesting. It's something I think the Lakers should monitor too. Because if we're going to be giving up 2 picks and a bunch of stuff, De'Aaron Fox is what would make it worth it to me. Somebody like that is when I would say, okay, maybe we can mortgage our future, because that will be our future. So I would love for De'Aaron Fox to be a Laker. And he's one of the rare pieces where I would consider mortgaging my future to bring him on. So that's just something I wanted to say there, but I don't think we can win the bidding for him. Absolutely not. So yeah, just little stuff like that comes to mind with the Sacramento Kings being on the tab. Malik Monk, of course, ex-Laker. He's going to be efficient tonight. He really had a massive second quarter with 12 points. Gave them a real run, kind of cut into our lead quite a bit. So I would imagine he's going to see opportunities to attack us. Max Christie really did a good job on him, and I need Max to continue to do that if he's going to be on him, or Fox, whatever. But, Malik Monk is going to be a point of an emphasis for us. Also, we got De'Aaron Fox in foul trouble in the last game, didn't foul him out. He probably played a little tentative. De'Aaron Fox usually goes for 35 points on the Lakers. He's a Laker killer, and I thought that foul trouble really helped in regards to him. I don't think that'll be the dynamic tonight, so we better zero in on De'Aaron Fox trying to do something crazy tonight. Nothing would surprise me at all as it pertains to his production. So we just need to be very aware of De'Aaron Fox tonight. Given the fact that he just got his butt whooped against us in his house, he going to want to like to beat him this afternoon. and I think it's going to be much harder tonight to keep them from doing so than it was in the last one. So that's what I got to say. They're going to take us very seriously. Our defense has been really good, and hopefully we can continue to keep this high-powered offense at bay, because they had been dropping a lot of points, as I had mentioned. 139, I think it was, against San Antonio, 140 against Utah. They are a high-powered offense, and they've kind of weaned off over the last 2 games, and we need to continue to keep them on that trajectory going forward with good effort on the defensive end and crashing the glass, which really worked for us in the last game. So that's really what it is, man. Very happy I'll be able to watch this game. Definitely hope we get the victory tonight. And if we play the way we did in the last one, it may not be enough. But, you know, that's really what it is. Anthony Davis was fantastic on the boards, of course, but we need him to score more than 21 points, I think, to win this particular basketball game. And, you know, LeBron James was really good in the last one. I don't know if he'll go. 18 points, 8 assists in the last game. A lot of energy exerted, a lot of physicality, bully ball. We need that from him. That's a good source of play for the King. We need that to continue, and hopefully he'll give it a go tonight. Hopefully he'll give it a go. The foot management thing, I don't really have any understanding of when to expect him to play and when not to, because they can always say he's dealing with that foot. So that's what it is. So yeah, man. 3 o'clock Pacific time, man. Very, very excited to be able to watch this game, man. I appreciate everybody for rocking with BDO 44, and of course I'll have something for you at halftime and at the end of the game. Peace.